Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Herpanwo TV. Now, just a few months ago, in fact at New Year time, I had to tell everyone the sad news that Philip Coppens had died. I'll put a link in the description box to that about Philip Coppens. Unfortunately, we've just lost another very, very great conspiratorial hero, and that is Michael Baigent. Very sorry to hear that. It's very, very sad. Here's his obituary in the Daily Telegraph here. There he is. It's him there. Now he's one of the three authors of a book called Holy Blood Holy Grail, which is this one. And of all the authors, he's the most outspoken. There's three of them who got together and wrote this book. There's Richard Lee, who is one of his co-authors. But Baigent here has been one of the most outspoken of the three authors of the book. The other two, have been active in terms of their writings, but this guy, Michael Baigent, has done the most interviews. He's the one who's done most of the publicity, I think. He's the one who's debated with the skeptics, people like the Time team. He did a debate with Baldrick. What's his name? The one who plays Baldrick. From Blackadder, Tony Robinson. Yeah, he did a debate with Tony Robinson on a Time Team special. The actual book he wrote is it's worth reading. It's a big long book, complicated, worth reading. It goes into what's known as the rennes-le-chateau mystery, which is a big subject. Basically. It's hard to summarise, actually, because the rennes-le-chateau mystery has so many facets to it, and it's expanded into so many areas. But there is a sort of like website, and there's this website here is worth going to, sauniersociety.com. That's the one to visit, and it'll give you a good introduction to it. It's all centred around the little French village of Rennes-le-Chateau, and it's connected. It's connected to Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code, and that little village is it's only a tiny little place, minute, but it used to have about 100,000 visitors a year when it all was kicked off. But it all started in 1982 when this book was published, and they were inundated with visitors. I think it's calmed down a little bit now because it's sort of lost a lot of its initial impetus. But obviously, it's still a big subject, and it's still an important subject. And this society, it's a British-based society. Is very much still going strong, and this is the Saunier Society, founded in 1985. Now they do regular trips to the Cathar country in the south of France, and rennes-le-chateau and Montségur and all these other areas that come up in the book, and they come up in the documents that this guy Béranger Saunier, the priest, found. It's a big subject. I can't go into it in too much detail, but it's worth. That's Montségur, the castle, which is part of the story that goes behind it. That there's Henry Lincoln. Now he's the oldest of the three authors by far. He's now the funny thing is, like every time the Saunier Society advertise their thing, I'll just show you their latest advert. Actually, it's here in Nexus. Oh. I'll show you their latest advert for their. Where is it? Let me just find it. They've got an advert in here somewhere. But basically, every time they advertise, they every year they put advertising in Nexus for their trip to Rennes-le-Chateau. So they take a little coach trip round the Grail country. Here we go. And every time they do it, they always say Henry Lincoln might be there or he might not. This might be your last chance to meet him. So gather ye rosebuds while ye may, and things like that. Basically, because Henry Lincoln is pretty old. He's nearly 80 now. I think he's about 80. He's over 80 now, I think. But ironically, I never thought that Michael Baigent would go before him. It's Michael Baigent was only 65 and he had a brain hemorrhage. He died in Brighton last week. So very sorry to hear that. Deepest condolences to his loved ones. May he rest in peace. And the the conspiratorial community has lost another great hero. If you want to go on the tour of Rennes-le-Chateau, here it is. It's been hosted by Rat Scabies, the rock star, who's unusual name, I know, but he's also very, very keen on the Rennes-le-Chateau mystery. So if you've got £1,850 handy, do go along. I think I would. Could probably save the money, but I don't have a passport. So very sorry to hear that. Very, very sad. Like I said, thanks for watching. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order.